Welcome to Mount Zion family. This is Deepa handling chemistry. Today in acid, bases and salt lesson we are going to discuss about the next property of water of crystallization in salts. So already we were discussed in the last video about a general introduction about salt and the types of salt, properties of salt. These are the things we were discussed. So on the continuation we are going to discuss about water of crystallization and identification and uses of salt. So these are the things we were discussed in this video. Hope you all are very clear at the end of the session. Okay, so first we are going to discuss about water of crystallization. So what is maybe water of crystallization? So crystallization is nothing but it's the salts, whatever we are obtained. So water of crystallization means many salts are found as crystals with water molecules. Okay, so most of the salt particles have the water molecules within it. So these water molecules are known as water of crystallization. Okay, so it's a 2 mark or 1 mark question. What is water of crystallization? So many salts are found as a crystals with water molecule. These water molecules are known as water of crystallization. Sometimes salts that contain water of crystallization are called hydrated salts. Okay, so whether the salt that contain a water molecule within it means then the salt is called as a hydrated salt. So how many number of molecules of water should be added in this? It should be represented with the help of a numbering. Okay, for example, the number of molecules of water. For example, if it has a 2 water molecule means it should be represented with the help of a dot after that formula, and then you may write it as a 2H2O. Okay, whatever the formula LDT, you have to simply put a dot and then you have to write 2H2O or 3H2O or 4H2O based on that water molecule present in that. Okay, so salt that contain water of crystallization are called hydrated salt. That how much amount of hydrated water molecule should be present, it should be indicated after a dot in its chemical formula. For example, here you see the copper sulfate crystals. So you know copper sulfate have a 5 molecules of water. Okay, what it is? Each molecule must occupy 5 molecules of water. So it should be written as CuSO4.5H2O. It has a 5 molecules of water molecule. So the name for that is copper sulfate pentahydrate. You know, if it is a mono, single means mono, double means di, triple means tri, 4 means tetra, 5 means penta. So the formula is copper sulfate pentahydrate. Okay, so how you pronounce copper sulfate pentahydrate? So because it has each molecule carries 5 water molecules, so that you have to write like this. Okay, so the crystallization makes copper sulfate blue. So actually if it is the copper sulfate is added with water molecule means the color is nothing but blue color means copper sulfate. Okay, so while heating that one means what will happen, the water molecules are started to evaporate, so it loses the water molecule and becomes to white in color. Okay, so these are the 2 different colors of copper sulfate. Why means if it is a hydrated copper sulfate means it should be present as in a blue color. If it is a unhydrated copper sulfate means it is known as it should be present in a white color. Okay, so sometimes salt do not contain a water molecule. They are called as a anhydrous salt. They are called as a anhydrous salt. Okay, so generally they may be formed in a they should be present in a powder form. So next we are going to discuss about identification of salts. What it is? Identification of salts. So there are so many techniques to identify the salt. Here we are discuss only 4 different techniques. What it is means physical examination of the salt. This is the first one. What it is? Physical examination of the salt. The second one is dry heating test. The second one is dry heating test. The third one is flame test. And the last one is brisk effervescence test. These are the basic tests discussed in your book. The first one is physical examination of the salt. Second one is dry heating test. Third one is flame test. And the last one is brisk effervescence test. Okay. So let us discuss one by one. The first one is what it is? Physical examination of the salt. Yeah, you are very good. Okay. So physical examination, as the name itself, whatever the seen appearance to your eyes. Okay. So we didn't know anything about that salt. We simply tell the salt based on the study of the color, smell, density, like that. Okay. So for example, if it is a blue color salt means you can simply tell it may be a copper sulfate, because just now we discussed copper sulfate pentahydrate should be present in a blue color. Okay. So if you see if you notice the color, or if you notice the smell, pungent smell means it may be ammonia or any other thing. Okay. So ammonium chloride or any other thing, it's okay. So based on the color, density, smell, we can just identify the unknown salt. Okay. So sometimes it may be it not much reliable one. Okay, it may be produce a wrong result also, but simply it is just a clue, given as a clue for that one. Okay. Second one is nothing but dry heating test. So dry heating test. So if you take a small amount of salt, dry heating as the name itself, I didn't add any more thing in that. So simply take a small amount of salt in a test tube or any other thing, boiling tube or any other thing. You should just heat that one. What will get? The water should be evaporated and the dissolved salts are sedimented in the container. So based on that we can find out which one it is. Okay. So the dry heating test is performed by heating a small amount of salt in a dry test tube. So once the water molecules are evaporated, we can simply test with the sedimented salt in the container. Okay. The third one is a flame test. So as the name itself, flame, whatever the color of the flame, we can identify the salt. So for that you have to certain salts are react with concentrated hydrochloric acid and form a chloride. So we can simply take that small amount of salt and mix it with a corn HCl carefully. Okay, and introduce that paste into the flame. Okay, so it will help to identify the salt present in it. Okay. So what we have to do, take a small amount of salt and mix it with a concentrated hydrochloric acid and make it as a paste. You can introduce that paste into the flame. It should be produced different colors. For example, here you see calcium, if it is present means it gives a brick red color. The flame changes into a brick red. So if it is a golden yellow, it is a sodium salt. So pink violet means it is a potassium salt. Green flushes means it is a zinc salt. Okay. So these are some of the example for the flame test. So based on that we can identify it is a calcium salt. Brick red color means it is a calcium salt, like that. Okay. You can identify. Okay. So the last one is, it's nothing but brisk effervescence test. So as the name itself, so if it is a carbonate salt means we can use the test. So if we added a corn HCl to the given salt, it gives a brisk effervescence, that is carbonate salt, it gives off carbon dioxide. So that carbon dioxide try to escape out. So with the brisk effervescence. So it should be help to identify the given salt is a carbonate salt. Okay. So these are the basic tests to identify the salts, given salts. Okay. So the next thing we are going to discuss about the uses of salts. So what are the uses? The first thing, you know, it is a common salt. The name of the salt is common salt, sodium chloride. The formula is NaCl. It is mainly used in a daily food. So whatever we are eating without sodium chloride we can't eat. So sodium chloride is used in our daily food and used as a preservative. You know, for making pickle or any other thing we are adding too much amount of salt into that. Okay. So why means it acts as a preservative. Okay. So the main use of common salt is used in our daily food and used as a preservative. The next we are going to discuss about washing soda. You know, it is nothing but sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. Okay, so Na2CO3, there is a small difference between the washing soda and cooking soda, that is baking soda. So washing soda is nothing but sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. Okay, so this is used in softening hard water. Okay, hard water, nowadays in our home itself we can using conversion of hard water to normal water. So in that sodium carbonate is used. Okay, the second thing is it is used in a glass, soap and paper industries. Where it is used, glass, soap and paper industries. The next one is uses of baking soda. It is nothing but sodium bicarbonate. Washing soda, it is a sodium carbonate. Baking soda, it is a sodium bicarbonate. Okay, so baking soda, it is used in making of baking powder. You know, it is used in a baking soda and baking powder are used in a making of cake, bread or whatever the item. So during the lockdown period, in our home itself we are making so many cakes and breads. Yes, with the help of this baking powder. So the baking powder is made up of with the help of baking soda. Okay, baking soda and tartaric acid are mixed with each other and form a baking powder. And also baking soda is used as a soda acid fire extinguisher. Okay, so many fire extinguisher are there. So one in that one type is soda acid fire extinguisher. So in that baking soda is used, and it is used act as a neutralization reaction. Suppose if we feel acidity, means it gives a relief immediately. Okay, so these are the uses of baking soda. The next one is bleaching powder. So bleaching powder, as the name itself, you know, wherever you use it in our home itself, if you want to remove any stains, we can use bleaching powder. It is nothing but calcium oxychloride. So far we know only it is a bleaching powder. Hereafter you know the chemical formula for that one also, CaOCl2. Calcium oxychloride. It is used as an disinfectant. Okay, so it helps to prevent from the infection. So it is used as a disinfectant, and it is used in the textile industry for bleaching cotton and linen. To bleach the cotton and linen cloths, we are using bleaching powder in the textile industries. Okay, and the last one is plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris, it is nothing but calcium sulfate hemihydrate. So it is a half water molecule only. So how can we pronounce it? It is a hemihydrate. Half H2O means it is a hemihydrate. It is used for plastering bones. Where it is used for plastering bones, and it is used for making cast for statues. So if you add water to this one, it becomes a strong and unbreakable one. So it is used for the plastering bones and making a cast for statues. So these are the uses of some salts discussed in your book. Let us recall what we are studying. So we will discuss about the salt water of crystallization. It is nothing but, so let us recall what we are studying. So today we discuss about water of crystallization in salt. So salt, it is nothing but number of water molecules present along with the crystals of salt. It is known as the water of crystallization, and sometimes it may be in a anhydrous also. And next we discuss about the identification of salt and the basic test. 4 different types of test: physical examination, dry heating test, flame test, and brisk effervescence test. These are the things we are discussed, and the uses of salts. So common salt, washing soda, baking soda, bleaching powder, and plaster of Paris. These salts are discussed. Now open your textbook. With this we can now open your textbook, page number 169. So page number 169, in that what we are discussed already is nothing but water of crystallization. So underline it. So many salts of water, crystals with water molecules. So it is known as a water of crystallization. The water molecules are known as water of crystallization. It is a 2-mark question, and in that the salts contain water of crystallization are called as a hydrated salt. Hydrated salts, underline it. Okay, so and we discussed about the example of copper sulfate crystal. How many molecules of water it has? 5 molecules. So it is known as a copper sulfate pentahydrate. Copper sulfate pentahydrate. Okay. So it is in a blue color. It is in blue color. If we heat that one, water molecules are comes out, means what's the color of that? It is a white color. You have to remember, it may be asked in a 1-mark question. And salts that do not contain water of crystallization are called anhydrous salts. Anhydrous salts. Okay. So and we have to fill that one. So zinc sulfate, magnesium chloride. You want to fill that formula. Iron 2 sulfate, that is FeSO4. You have to write here. FeSO4. Similarly, magnesium chloride hexahydrate. So hexa means 6. So MgCl2.6H2O. You have to write MgCl2.6H2O. Okay. So sodium thiosulfate pentahydrate means how many water molecules you have to write? Simply write Na2S2O3.5H2O. 5H2O. So and the formula also you want to write. 7 means heptahydrate, 2 means dihydrate, calcium chloride dihydrate. You have to write everything and fill this activity. Okay. So next we discuss about the physical examination of salt. So based on the color, smell and density, we can classify, and it is not a much reliable one. Okay. Dry heating is nothing but take a small amount of salt and heat it in a dry test tube. So the water molecules are come out and we get the sedimentation in the container. With the help of this we can find out the salt. Okay. Flame test. So mixed with the mixed with concentrated hydrochloric acid. The paste of the mixture is introduced in a flame. So depends upon the color of the flame we can classify them. Suppose if it is gives a brick red color, it is the calcium. Okay. Golden yellow means it is the sodium. Pink violet means it is the potassium. Okay. Green flushes means it is a zinc. So some of the salts are there given. So you have to remember this one. And the last one is brisk evaporants. So suppose if you add a concentrated hydrochloric acid to a salt, if it is gives a brisk evaporants, it is nothing but escapes of carbon dioxide. So it is a carbonate salt. So these are the 4 different types of identification of salts. And next we discuss about the uses. The first one is common salt. It is used in a daily food, and act as a preservative. So use is very important. They may be asking a 1 mark or 2 mark or any other thing. And in your book it is a detailed question. Discuss the uses of an salt. They are asking the question number, detailed question number 4. It is the answer for that. Write any 4 uses of salts they are asking. Have to write any 4. Okay. So washing soda, Na2CO3. The formula is Na2CO3 and it is used to softening hard water. Okay. So and it is used in glass, soap and paper industries. Which one? Sodium carbonate, that is washing soda. The next one is baking soda. The formula for that one is NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate. So it is used in the preparation of baking powder. So baking powder is a mixture of baking soda and tartaric acid. Remember this one. Okay, it is also asked in a 1 mark. The next one is it is used in a soda acid fire extinguisher. And it neutralizes excess acetic acid in the stomach and provide immediate relief. Okay, so the third point is nothing but it is the uses of baking powder. It is not a baking soda. Okay, baking powder is used to make cakes, bread soft and spongy. Okay, the next thing, bleaching powder. So bleaching powder, the formula is calcium oxychloride, CaOCl2. Just repeat 1 or 2 times, then only have to remember the formula. Okay, so bleaching powder, so the formula is CaOCl2. So where it is used as a disinfectant and in textile industries to bleach the cotton and linen cloths. Okay, it is used to bleach the cotton and linen cloths. The last one we discussed is plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris. It is a calcium sulfate hemihydrate, half water molecule only. So where it is used, it is in plastering bones and used for making cast for statues. Okay, so these are the things we discussed today. Hope you all are understand. Up to this, lesson is over. That is unit 14 is over. Go through book back exercise also. Meet you in the next session. Thank you, students.